Travis Wayne Goodsell. Let's get right into it rather than small talk with you. 3rd Nephi, chapter 1, verse 17. And they begin to know that the Son of God must shortly appear. And 21. And it came to pass that also a new star did appear according to the word. Mormons, pop quiz. In what year did Lehi see the sign? Did you know he saw the sign? It's right there in the beginning of the Book of Mormon, 1st Nephi, chapter 1. Okay, 7. And it came to pass he returned to his own house at Jerusalem. And he cast himself upon his bed, being overcome with the Spirit. And thus being overcome with the Spirit, he was carried away in a vision, even that he saw the heavens opened. And he thought he saw God sitting upon his throne, surrounded with numerous concourses of angels, in the attitude of singing and praising their God. Milky Way galaxy, next to Ophiuchus, where Saturn was sitting. And it came to pass that he saw Jupiter descending out of the midst of Virgo, and he's giving birth. And he beheld that Zaman, Emmanuel, as Isaiah calls him. And he also saw 12 others, 12 stars on the crown of Virgo, stars in the firmament. What year do they tell us that he saw this sign occur? In the 1st year of the reign of King Zedekiah, who is the puppet king put on the throne of Jerusalem by Babylon. Now, let's go. If you don't understand the sign, Isaiah 7, Matthew, but you have to combine chapter 1 with the first part of 2, where Bethlehem, which is Spica in Virgo, and then chapter 24, the sign of the Son of Man. He messes it up. He considers the sign the birth. It's not the birth. It's the sign in the heavens, which means a date in the future. Because I just checked before this video, back in that time period, 597, 596, 598. There's some fun signs, but not this one as prophesied. There was no sign in Jerusalem described by all these guys on the 1st year of the reign of King Zedekiah on the throne of Babylon, by the throne of Babylon, on the throne of Jerusalem. Let's see, Jacob, tribes, 1st Nephi, there we go. Interesting. There's 1st Nephi 21, tribes of Jacob. Jacob in Hebrew means usurper, because he usurped the birthright blessing from Esau in the story in the Torah. Alright. In 3rd Nephi chapter 7, we have now the secret combination, verse 9, which had brought so great iniquity upon the people, did gather themselves together, and did place at their head a man whom they did call Jacob. And they did call him their king. Therefore he became king over this wicked band. Remember, in the 1st year of the reign of King Zedekiah, a puppet king is placed on the throne of Jerusalem by Babylon. And here you have, right before the coming you have this secret combination placing on the throne of the Nephites a puppet king, Jacob, the usurper. And the Nephites were divided into different tribal groups according to the cities. And thus, you can say comparable to states. They were united in their hatred into the covenant to destroy the government. Let's go back to 3 Nephi chapter 1. I forgot one important piece in here. Okay. Verse 9, yeah. It came to pass that there was a day set apart by the unbelievers, that all those who believed in the tradition should be put to death, except the sign should come to pass, which had been given by Samuel the prophet. The destruction was not on the sign on the first day of the reign of the puppet king. So, did I say John the Revelator also gave this sign? Revelation chapter 12. He gives a specific date. The Book of Mormon that I went over with you in 1 Nephi adds Saturn in Ophiuchus, an addition on that very date. I know this because I checked. I've got a stellarium. That's why I was able to check back in the day of Babylon putting the puppet king on the throne. The day of destruction was the year when Nephi and his brothers went to get the brass plates. The sign is for the middle of September to the middle of October. The sign has already occurred, guys. 23rd September 2017. Get your stellarium, check it for yourself. What happened that year, the first year, in America? The reign of the puppet king of Russia. The first year. Isaiah talks about conception and birth. Both signs. The conception would have been a pregnancy period which occurred during a supermoon after the 2016 presidential election, where the Russians put their puppet on the throne of America. What are we witnessing? A coronavirus. He was acquitted by the GOP Senate. He is unfettered. He is saying he will destroy the election. He will not allow it. He will do everything to stop it. He's been doing everything to stop it. People are doing what they can to try to stop him by going after the Postmaster General, for example. But they're still not stopping. There's still problems at the post office, despite him going to the hearing. I don't understand. Nothing is done by sending people to the Congress. It doesn't stop anything. You have to have some kind of enforcement. They're just not doing it. But Thursday night, on the last day of the RNC convention, Trump made the announcement that he had it planned all along to get everyone in America infected with coronavirus. Everyone. He is weeding out the weak from the strong. He himself has been exposed, and yet he doesn't have it, except for that one confusing incident where he said he was positive, but then negative which is why it was positive. That can only happen is if he has the vaccine. What are they all desperately fooling us with? That we're going to have a vaccine already created before the election. He wants everybody infected. He just announced it. There will be no vaccine. All those who have special privileges have been vaccinated with the vaccine that they are holding back after everybody gets infected. We are expecting, the health officials are expecting a cataclysm event, resurgence in the fall, right in time for the election. But this day to murder is also in Revelation chapter 12. The dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Verse 4. Why? Why would they be looking for this child? Moses has a baby. Pharaoh wants to kill all the babies. Herod wants to kill all the babies when the wise men say, hey, we saw the sign in Bethlehem. Where's the baby? And he says, oh, I want to know where this baby is so I can kill it. Karen, my second ex, talked with her the other day and brought to her attention LDS church history. And it's difficult to bring up church history with her and at the same time not mention that the Book of Mormon is plagiarized and encoded with a secret message so that we can understand that the Book of Mormon is trying to warn us of right now. Because she wants to understand why I would think that the inverted pentagram that Isaiah talks about and is plagiarized in the Book of Mormon is Lucifer's sign and not revelation from God. Tom, you dumbass. Spokesman for the church, and he, oh my God. But, and so in order to explain it to her that it came from the Illuminati on the 1st of May, 1776. Illuminati, light bearers, Lucifer, inverted pentagram. That became their symbol. Their secret sign. Yes, there have been other groups that have adopted that sign from Isaiah because the Latin Vulgate is the first to use it. Right after Constantine, well, not right after, several decades, but after Constantine, in that 300 year, near the end, almost to 400. That's when the Vulgate came out. And it refers to Venus. Now, Venus is the morning star. It's out right now. And it rises trying to get to be the noonday sun. It never makes it because the actual sun rises and outshines it so that it disappears. It is vanquished. Lucifer is vanquished by the sun. You see the religion in that. and the Son becomes the true King of Kings and great high priest, Melchizedek, Pharaoh, Amen, Emmanuel. And so when I try to tell her about Freemasonry, how the Scottish rites in America had been infiltrated by the Illuminati, and that the Smiths were York rites of the Knights Templar, the bloodline, the Holy Grail, bought America at Southern Illinois, where the 2 solar eclipses of the 3 days of darkness is to occur. They were going to have Zion, the New Jerusalem, built in Southern Illinois. Joseph Smith's July 19th, 1840. 39 was when he called the 12 with Brigham Young, the Judas. And so the Smiths knew about all this. That's why the Book of Mormon, buried deep in the mountainside. I screwed up that song massively. Buried treasure plates in a mountain region, which was hills. But hills in Hebrew are Har, Harmageddon, mountain of Megiddo. Har in Egyptian is Horus, the son of Osiris, the one who restores the kingdom. Armageddon is the latter-day war, with the battle of Horus. And so trying to tell the stories in the Book of Mormon to Karen, I can't tell her that it's plagiarized and it's a coded message. And I can tell she's starting to catch on and getting concerned, and she's getting stressed. And I realize, oh yeah, how do I explain the Book of Mormon in the context of LDS church history? To show her that the Book of Mormon is warning us right now. So the sign has already happened, but the first year of the reign of King Zedekiah is when it happened here in America. But yet there's something else going on before the second coming, which is actually the first coming of his son to restore the original. That's where Matthew messes up. He says that the sign was actually the birth, and then in 24, when Jesus fails to save the Jews during the Roman period, he then says, well, he's coming again, and there will be his sign again, the sign of the Son of Man. No, if his sign was his birth, and his birth already occurred, he's not coming again because there won't be the sign again. That sign is a once in an existence event. Like I said, it didn't happen in the first year of the reign of King Zedekiah. It didn't happen any time, plus or minus 10 years of 0 AD. It never happened before. It will never happen again. It happened 23rd September 2017, in the first year of the reign of Trump, King of America, put on the throne as a puppet for Russia, by Russia. And so, yes, the Scottish Rites, Brigham Young, Heber C. Kimball, and the Danites, of whom Joseph Smith had stopped from destroying America. way back when. What are you doing? Come on. And so they found out it was him, as Heber C. Kimball's Wikipedia page under Masonry exposes for us. He outright lied. But in his lies, he reveals what he had done. And then when you realize that, you then learn that Heber C. Kimball took Hiram's wife and son, Joseph Fielding Smith. That is low. Because it was Heber and Brigham who gave the order to John Taylor and Willard Richards to have them murdered in Carthage jail. John Taylor wrestled my third great-grandfather's gun from Hiram, and it went off and shot him up in the jaw as he laid on the ground. Joseph had just shot at the mob coming up the stairs and chased them out. He had 3 balls in his gun that was given by the other guy. And then he heard the shot, saw his brother fall to the ground, saw John Taylor standing over him, and Joseph Smith faced inside the room. Boom, boom, boom. John Taylor scampered under the bed to hide. His watch was hit. Joseph then went into the room, didn't know that Willard Richards also had obtained a gun when he got the wine. And while mourning over his dead brother, Willard Richards came up from behind and shot him in the back. And then the Nauvoo Temple, designed by Brigham Young's brother-in-law, a Danite of the Scottish Rites Illuminati that were planning to destroy America, designed it with the inverted pentagram at the top, the sign of Lucifer below it, and then Joseph Smith as the sunstone, the sun to restore the kingdom. Conquered by Lucifer, who had taken over the position of Messiah of the latter days. And there were 2 sunstones, one for Joseph, one for Hiram, 2 inverted pentagrams, one for Willard Richards, one for John Taylor, with the 3rd, which was the stained glass window, inverted pentagram, framed for Brigham Young. And then the Jewish stars above the 2 inverted pentagrams. And they are to be the religion of Lucifer during the government of Lucifer, as they are destroying America, as Trump wants to get us all infected with the desolating scourge. Scourge, desolating. Section 45, verse 31. And there shall be men standing in that generation that shall not pass until they shall see an overflowing scourge, for a desolating sickness shall cover the land. That could be the abomination of desolation. And this temple, which ye now see, shall be thrown down, that there shall not be left one stone upon another. There is no temple in Jerusalem. The Jews did not rebuild it. They still have the Muslim mosque sitting on the thing. It's not Jerusalem for Armageddon. It's the Mormon church and the temple with the inverted pentagram on the keystone of the doors of the Salt Lake Temple. The Seagull Gate, where it's the foundation on the keystone pointing to the state capitol. They control the government, and the love of men shall wax cold. And it shall come to pass that he that feareth me shall be looking forth for the great day of the Lord to come, even for the signs of the coming of the Son of Man. See, this is all in the latter days. The temple is not in Jerusalem. Sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood. And then the sign. And so it's not the Jews that he's speaking of here. And all they that have laughed shall see their folly in 49, and calamity shall cover the mocker. Who are they talking about here? Who is Joseph Smith talking about? They that have watched for iniquity shall be hewn down and cast into the fire. And the Jews, are we sure it's the Jews? Because they don't have a temple to be destroyed a third time. It's America where the signs have occurred. It's America where the puppet king was put on the throne of America. Are we sure? No, it's not the Jews. It's not the Catholics. They're in Italy. You know, the Vatican. It's Mormons, guys. The Mormons are the ones who are mocking. They are looking for someone else. They are looking, and I see it in my comments. You are not the prophet. You are not Samuel the Lamanite, Travis. You are not this. You are not that. Nelson is the president. Nelson will tell us what to do. Nelson will compel us in all things. Nelson is the one who has the mantle. Nelson, Nelson, Nelson. No. No, no. He is silent. Amos 3:7, he's required to tell you. Who's been telling you this whole time? In the Book of Mormon, is it the leaders of the church who warn the members? No. It is a member who is the only one listening to God, who stands up to his religion and says, stop it. You guys need to be good. Destruction is coming. Signs in the heaven. That's a pattern in the Book of Mormon. The leaders of the church in the Book of Mormon never. You do have Nephi, but he's not the leader. He is made the leader. He is made a prophet because the leader was bad. You see the pattern. And so, yes, Mormons are laughing, mocking, scorning, looking for iniquity, to trap people, to destroy. And then, when the Exodus occurs, the Mormons will look and see him and weep because of their iniquities, and lament because they have persecuted their king. It's the Jewish learning of the Jews, not the learning of the Constantine Christians. And Mormons just don't get it. And so again, I go over section 3. Mormons have polluted their inheritance here in Utah. And so God is saying the redemption of Zion must needs come by power. It needs to be restored. Therefore, in 16, after Joseph has been murdered, failing to save the United States, although they did prolong it to this day, when he was to have the elders of Israel rescue the Constitution from the brink of destruction. The thread. Therefore, I will raise up a mortal man unto my people. Who would the Lord be talking to Joseph Smith about the Lord's people? Oh, the Catholics, I'm sure, right? It's Mormons. That's why it's not the Jews in 45. If it's the Mormon from among the Mormons, who shall lead them like as Moses led the children of Israel in the Exodus, then back in 45, it's not the Jews who see the man like Moses, who is one of them, whom they've laughed, scorned, mocked, tried to trap into crime and sin. They will weep and lament because Joseph Smith was trying to tell Mormons, our Christ is like the Jewish Christ, a mortal man. So I am concerned about Monday. We are now 32 minutes into this video, and nobody's listening. And so that concerns me, that I had to do all this building up to this warning, which may be the last warning, because I still have a lot of packing to do. Like I said, there is a day set aside to destroy the Mormon who is to lead the Mormons in an exodus. That day is Monday. According to the Book of Mormon, God will step in. The Book of Mormon pattern that I also talked with Karen in regards to how the Lord works in our lives started with getting the brass plates. Lehi has a dream. He is told in the dream, get the brass plates. He then passes the buck to his sons. You guys go get the brass plates. Nephi gives his famous scripture mastery quote, I will go and do the things which the Lord has commanded, because I know the Lord giveth no commandments unto the children of men, save he shall prepare a way for them to do. And then you get the song, I will go, I will do the things the Lord commands. And they demonstrate how they tried to figure out how to get it first. Draw lots, try to buy it with their wealth that was left behind in the house, the mansion. And Nephi said, no, we need to get it. You guys are scared. You're snowflakes. I'll go get it. I know Random Muse will eventually get to this point in the video. I hope. I hope you appreciate the snowflake line. And so now he goes in. He follows the Lord as to where to go, the Spirit. Laban is provided for him. He is then able to dress and look like Laban, even though he's like a 10-year-old boy at the most, and fool Zoram, and Zoram gets the brass plates, and they go out of the city and accomplish the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Right before the destruction of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple. But that's what happens, is that you do all that you can to make sure that what you're supposed to do is accomplished. And then, in the end, after you've done all you can and you still haven't gotten it, the Lord then steps in and helps you finish. And I explained to Karen how my life was like that. Everything in my life was done like that. I gave her examples. And this Monday is another one. I'm supposed to be evicted. There was an extension granted to Monday. They're trying to get rid of me without going to court, because they know they will lose if they take me to court. They don't have a case to justify. Their accusations are just that. They're accusations. They're not based on any documents or recordings or anything. I'm the one with the documents and the recordings and everything. That's why they don't want to have a court to get rid of me, but they want me gone. Just like the church wanted me gone in 2008. That was one of the examples that I gave to Karen, was that the Lord wanted me out. He did not want me locked up like Joseph of Egypt with the storehouses. And like I told you guys in yesterday's video, I designed how we would have had things run under a coronavirus. Before the coronavirus struck, I presented it to my bishop. He said no. And so I've been reaching out to federal government officers. I've been reaching out for lawyers, trying to help prolong, trying to help prevent them from doing what they're wanting to do, which is to prevent me from doing what God wants me to do. Now, when you say things like that, people automatically are haters and religious bigots, as they say, oh, you've got a Messiah complex, oh, you've got this and that and the other, to justify punishing people. That's why they give the categorizations in psychiatry and in government and in religion, is so that they can justify punishing people for the categorizations that they have placed upon them. And so in religion, Mormons call those who leave anti-Mormon. They go to the extreme. Oh, you guys are enemies of the church, you're apostates, you're antichrists. Why? So that the Mormons can then justify them being good, for not being stupid for sticking. Whereas those who left were smart. They figured it out. It's not Jesus' church. If Jesus' church is doing crimes and sins and abuses and bullying, such as false labeling, so that people can justify their own existence. Triggering to destroy, as the other video I did. And so, I was able to get through to the federal government. The Fair Housing Office is already investigating, but it takes time for them to investigate. I don't know why. I found through the Utah BBB, Better Business Bureau, that these guys forgot to relicense themselves. They're no longer listed because their license expired. It oops, this whole year I've been paying rent to a fraudulent business. And they're trying to get rid of me without taking me to court. But I haven't been able to get a hold of the lawyer. They didn't reply. Called several different ones. Nothing. And so, Monday, I was thinking 9/11, thinking that I was going to be able to extend it. No. They refused to extend it. And the lawyer for the landlord, I've pointed out that he's going to deny me a court hearing. So I told him, I told you I want a court hearing. And so he won't talk about it, and he says, oh, okay, well then we're going to use the full fury according to Utah law. And so I responded, according to Utah law, you are required to give me a court hearing. And so I demand to know what you intend to do specifically, which is illegal and not according to law. He has not responded. And now it's the weekend. That's why I'm worried about Monday. Because like I told you guys, my whole life has followed the pattern of I do my part, the enemy tries to prevent me from finishing my part, then God miraculously sets things in motion and I'm able to accomplish things. It's weird. 6 years I was incarcerated, for example. God gave me revelation. Part of it was the stake center complexes that I talked about with the food storage for the coronavirus. Would have been all set up, ready to go. Had the bishop notified the church leaders, and the church leaders said, wow, this is a great idea, let's implement this. No. But yeah, I got all of that locked up. And so I'm thinking, I'm going to be locked up forever, God. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is torture. I'm never going to be able to do anything with this. Why are you giving me these ideas, these revelations as to how to run a whole organization? And of course I never get any answers. Time goes by and I'm locked up forever. And then comes the fateful day. The Attorney General left his post, and his choice also left his post, and then they were put on trial for corruption. They got away with it because they're in Mormon, Utah. As they are the Mormons themselves. Mormons protect their own. And but the new guy who took over knew nothing of my case. So that was the first thing. Then the psychiatrist was retired. He retired. Not really. He still had his own practice. So that's what he's doing full time and spending more time on his ranch. But he retired. Just said, yeah, I'm choosing now to retire from working in this incarceration place. And so a new psychiatrist comes in, assigns different drugs, because it's the drugs that stop the revelation. And so again, I was like, okay, I got ideas, and now they're just sitting as I'm going to spend the rest of my life in a vegetative state, stupor, like a zombie. Way to go. And then the retirements, the Attorney General's office, the psychiatrist doctor who does the human experimentations with drugs from Nazi Germany and 60s Russia, and then the evaluator. The evaluator had kept telling me over and over again, I'm never going to let you go. You could lie. He was supposed to ask questions. I was then supposed to give the answers. It's that simple. I knew the answers. It's that simple. If you've never gone through the court process, yeah, you don't know. Nobody knows. They keep it a secret. They don't tell you and teach you in school. So the only people who know are those who go into the legal profession or those who get arrested. Those are the only ones who know about the system. And so when a person gets arrested for the first time, they're clueless. They don't know how it works. And so it's not appropriate to say, well, they don't know how our system works. They're mentally ill. So that's what they did to Abinadi. You're a terrorist and you're mad. You're mentally ill. How dare you speak out against us? That's what I had done. I had filed a petition for a redress of grievances, and I was turned around and arrested for it. It's illegal in the state of Utah to file a complaint in the courts. You have to have a lawyer do it for you. And the evaluator was refusing to let me go. He's the final guy. And then he just up and retires. He's not old. He's still young. Retires. He gets replaced. Brand new girl, fresh out of school. She reads me the questions. I give her the answers. She says, "You're competent." No duh. Everybody panics. Holy crap, Travis is not supposed to be competent. So they had the other evaluator evaluate me. They were going to destroy that brand new hire's life as it just barely began. And that's what the other evaluator knew. He had no choice now. He couldn't destroy my life by destroying hers. She was just doing her job. She didn't know that she wasn't supposed to let me go. And so yeah, the other evaluator said, no, we're not going to do the questions and answers. I'm going to ask my own questions. And you're going to tell me straightforward. And he let me go. And the Attorney General dropped the charges. I'd already served 6 years without a trial. Never found guilty, and yet punished for 6 years of my life. And so here they try it again with my landlord. Didn't commit a crime. They're not taking me to court. But they want me punished by being evicted. They want me out of here so that they can cover up their crimes. Like I said, they're not licensed. They forgot last year. That's why I'm worried about Monday, guys. Monday. The question is, will it be in the morning afternoon, or in the evening. I'm supposed to be gone by 4 p.m. So if it's the evening, things will be rushed. If it's the afternoon, it will give myself enough time to try to finish some last minute packing. Because if it's what I'm concerned of, I will need to acquire a U-Haul truck. And in my talking with Karen, you will understand, again, in connection with how God works, that is a very plausible scenario. But it could also be in the morning. So I don't know. So I don't know when I should cut my hair. I just don't know. But I need to be prepared. I may have a dream come Monday morning where I'm told, get out, everything's failed, get out. And then the U-Haul truck won't be the option. But I've never been wrong. Everything always happens as I am told. Not as I interpret. I can't interpret. I've had to learn how things are to be interpreted in retrospect. But something's Monday. Last week I told you on the 25th something was going to happen. Or was it the 26th? I can't remember. I think it was the 25th. Oh, no, it was the 26th. That's right. Because that was an exodus for the Gulf Coast states, as California's exodus has already occurred. And I was telling you guys, Utah's exodus is coming. Surely the Lord God gives no commandments unto the children of men, save he shall prepare a way for them to accomplish the thing which he has commanded. I will raise up unto my people a man who shall lead them like as Moses. That's the commandment. That's the prophecy. All his words shall be fulfilled. And I hate to go over this with you, Mormons, but none of you qualify to be the man like Moses. You don't fulfill the prophecies. You have to fulfill the prophecies. Not just of Moses, but of Joseph of Egypt, Samson, even Jesus of the Gospels. Joseph Smith's history. The critics love to rip apart Joseph Smith's history and tell him how wrong he is about his own life. Until you realize, code. Oh! Whoa! Ought to have been my friends. They shall look upon the wounds in my hands. Remember when I fell? And shall weep and lament. For they had persecuted their king, the Mormon king. Raise up unto my people a man like Moses. Section 85. One mighty and strong restores the temple. Did Joseph not do it right? No, it's after Joseph. You have to be the president of the church to restore the temple. A man like Moses, having the keys of the office of Moses. Joseph received those keys in the Kirtland Temple on Passover, with Elijah also coming. And if you know anything about the Jewish Passover, you know Elijah and Moses are supposed to come. The Jews only know about Elijah. They're really not up on their Torah. I'm kind of disappointed, because I watch all these movies about rabbis who are scholars, and yet when it comes to their latter days, they all look to the Rambam, and they don't. He doesn't. Come on, it's right there. You've got it. You know, coronavirus, guys. You know, America. But it's not the Jews, it's the Mormons. The Mormon will save the Jews, as Jeremiah 23 says. Alright, I'm at 56 minutes. Nobody's watching now. That's why it was safe for me to tell. Because only those who have ears to hear will hear. Those who want to mock, scorn, and laugh, they're already going to do it. They're already doing it with the thumbs down, with their hate comments, death threats. That's the Mormons, pure evil, followers of Lucifer. And they shall weep and mourn.